Today is The Spirit of Radio by Rush. When I was a young flit learning to play bass, I remember hearing this for the first time. It was the first Rush track I ever heard, and I honestly could not believe what I was hearing. I just didn't believe that a guy could play like this. He was unbelievable. And then years later, when I figured it out and figured out how to do it, it's still unbelievable. And he's doing it while he's playing the keyboards with his feet and singing. So, yeah, who doesn't love Geddy Lee? And if you don't love Geddy Lee, what's wrong with you? So we're going to learn how to play The Spirit of Radio by Rush. We're going to start with the intro. This is the Spirit of What is he doing? Well, I'll try and answer. There's lots of versions actually. He does an awful lot of live versions of it, and I'll get to the bit where there's some differences between different versions and the way I've seen people play it. There's one thing in particular, and I'll get to that in a sec. The other thing somebody else pointed out to me in the comments of the sneak preview was how hard you hit the thing, and that's a huge part of it. It's a huge part of getting this sound, right? So I'm using a Line 6 Pod Go, and it's just the Ampeg. It's an Ampeg amp, a little bit of grit on it, and you see I'm using Precision. Obviously another pickup here would be nice, but he doesn't have that one up all the way as far as I know anyway. So it's not about that. Like, listen to the difference in this. So if we started, so imagine you started like this. Now, I haven't touched the amp, okay, or this. It's more like that, isn't it? So dig in a bit. Anyway, we get that's just to get that kind of sound. He looks to me like he plays pretty hard. So we're going to start on the E string and let that ring. Now, without disturbing it, this is the trick. Sometimes people will play that and then knock off it going up to hit the next note. Try not to do that. Try to leave it ring. Right? And then move your hand to the G string. I'm going to play the 7th fret. I'm going to play 2 notes there. Right? It's from the top. Little. Okay? Now your next note is the 4th fret on the G string to the 6th fret on the G string. So using your index finger on the 4th and your 3rd finger on the 6th. So from the top. Sorry. And then 2 back to the 4th fret and twice. Okay, so from the top. And your next note is 2 of these on the 7th fret of the D string. So now, I like this bit. Leave your little finger or whatever you use to hit that 7th fret on the D string where it is, and with your index finger go to the 5th fret on the D string, on the A string. Sorry, start again. Right. So from the top. Okay, now leave your little finger on the 7th fret of the D. I'm going to play the 5th fret of the A. Sorry, 2 and a 1. Twice, and you do that twice. Right, so you know that bit, right? This twice. Now, we're at this bit where there's contention. I have seen people play this with two notes, like, so the phrase is slow. I've seen people go. And I've heard Geddy do both versions. Okay, there's a live version I could play you now where he does it, where he only hits that twice, right? And then there's other live versions where he hits it 3 times, including Exit Stage Left, which is what we were just listening to there. And I think on the original album I can hear that. But the isolated ones, it's both. So if you want to play it, you do it, and if you want to do the triplet, that's what I do. Do that. Okay, so We're going to play the 4th fret on the D string. And I use my 3 fingers to do it. Like I go. It's a nice little technique. It's I go. So I'll just show you that, right? So start with your 3rd finger, 2nd finger, and 1st finger. And the trick is to get them all the same attack. It's a great trick, isn't it? I love that. Right, so okay, so from the top we get back to that bit. And here's our triplet, if it is a triplet, 3 notes. And now your next note is the fret beside that, the 5th fret on the D string, and the 7th fret on the D string, and then come back to the 5th fret on the D string, and back to the 4th fret on the D string. And then you're going to play the 5th fret on the A string. And then you go from the 5th fret to the 7th fret on the A string, but you go. So I'll play it real slow. And then you hit the E string again for the 2nd time it rings out on its own. And then 2 on the A. Alright, so from the top. And now here comes the fun bit. Okay, so now we're on the flurry of notes, the money shot, the impressive bit. I just want to say before we do this, whatever your level, you can do this. These things are not beyond any of us, right? It really is a case of practice. I know that's so boring. It's like there's no shortcut to some of these things other than sitting down and practicing it. But if you're here, you love this Rush tune, and why not get it under your fingers? And I'm going to show you how to do that. All you do is when I show you these notes, pick it section by section. Start with the 1st section, that part. Start with that. Learn it slow. You can go onto YouTube and play the original track at half speed. Play along with it. And eventually you'll have that bit under your fingers, and then move on to the next bit, and the next bit, and the next bit. And then when you have it all, just practice, sit on the couch, drive the other half crazy, like I do. And here's the bit we're going to do now, okay? So, like I say, you can do it, just practice it slow and increase the speed until you have it. So go to the 7th fret on the G string, and we're going to do our 3-note trick again, that one. And the next note is the 6th fret on the G, and the 4th fret on the G to the 7th fret on the D. All right, so let's take that as a little section. Go back up to the 4th fret on the G, to the 7th fret on the D again, to the 5th fret on the D, to the 4th fret on the D. So that's to the 7th fret on the A, to the 4th fret, back up to the 4th fret on the D, back to the 7th fret on the A, to the 5th fret on the A, to the 4th fret on the A, to the open A. Now you'll notice that you're going down and then back up, and that's how he's making. He's in one position as far as I can hear. Any of the videos I've seen, I haven't seen him move. If you see that, that's fine. You play it that way. I'm just trying to show the way I think it is and the way I think is easiest to play it. So watch, he's going down here, right? Back up. And back up. So there's twice he goes back up, which gives him a flurry of notes in one position. Okay? So from the top, that part is. So G7, G6, G4, D7, G4, D7, D5, D4, A7, D4, A7, A5, A4, and open A. Now sometimes he hits the open A before he does this next. Right, he hits the open A on the original recording. He doesn't. Exit stage left. He doesn't. You put it in if you want to, but not on this version. You're not. So we're going to slide on the D string from the 7th fret to the 4th. Use your 3rd finger to the 2nd fret on the D string, to the open D, to the 4th fret on the A, to the open D, to the 4th fret on the A, to the open A, I think. Sorry, no, to the 2nd fret on the A. So to the open A. So I'll spell that out again. It's 2 to 4 on the D, 2nd fret on the D, open D, 4th fret on the A, open D, 4th fret on the A, 2nd fret on the A, and the open E. And then we've got the riff. And whatever, okay? So from the top, I'll play it one more time slow. I'm probably driving you mad doing this now, but still. Other times, yes. Yeah. And you've got this other part as well. You can put it if you want to. But it's only on the record that I can hear. I haven't heard it anywhere else. Okay, I hope... look, I know it's daunting, that one. I know it's daunting. But honestly, if you put a few days into it, you wonder how you ever thought you couldn't do it. So look, I hope that's of help, and if there's any interest, I'll do the rest of the tune, but really that's not that difficult. So let me know how you get on. Thanks.